Hello, my name is Neil Nairn and I'm the first year co-coordinator of the Bachelor of Dental Surgery course, or BDS as it's better known. And I would like to speak to you about Glasgow Dental School and the wider area of Glasgow University. Glasgow University was established in 1451, making it the fourth oldest university within the UK. It's ranked in the top 100 of the world's universities. To put this into context, it's estimated that there are over 50,000 universities worldwide. It is ranked 13th in the world in the QS World Sustainability Rankings and the THE Impact Rankings, and is a member of the exclusive Russell Group of research-intensive UK universities. There are currently 8 Nobel laureates connected to Glasgow University at this time. And the university has been teaching dentistry since 1879. The current location of the Glasgow Dental Hospital and School is on Sauchiehall Street, which is in one of the main thoroughfares in Glasgow city centre. Based on the QS World University Rankings of 2025, the University of Glasgow is currently ranked at 78th. Glasgow is a very vibrant and progressive city. It has attracted major sporting events in recent years, notably the European Indoor Athletics Championships in 2019, and the Commonwealth Games, which took place in 2014 and was widely regarded as the most successful games to date. The Commonwealth Games will be returning back to Glasgow in 2026, and the university plans to be a major contributor. In the top left hand corner you will see the picture of the Glasgow University, and in particular the Gilbert Scott building. Glasgow is regarded as one of the best student cities in the world. So the original dental school was built on Renfrew Street in 1931 and is still used today. The current building in Sauchiehall Street opened in 1971 and is next to major city centre historic buildings, in particular the Glasgow School of Art. In the complete university guide, the University of Glasgow Dental School is currently ranked second, but with an overall score of 100%. In the Times UK University Rankings of 2025, the University of Glasgow is currently ranked also second. To assist with your transition into the first year course, there is the BDS1 team, and they are here to help. And they will help with any questions and with the transition you will be going through from either school, previous courses or employment. The intake of 2025 will be referred to as the class of 2030, and this will be the year of graduation. Giving an overall view of the BDS curriculum, it is built up of 3 major themes. The first one being patient management and health promotion, abbreviated PMHP, clinical dentistry, which is more hands-on dentistry, which is referred to as clinical dent, and the biological and medical sciences, referred to as BAMS, and that's a fusion of biomedical and clinical medical sciences. And these sciences are the underpinning knowledge required throughout first year and the larger course. In first year you will find there will be a lot of the biomedical teaching. Approximately 75% of teaching is in BAMS. but as you progress through the years, you will find that your clinical content will significantly improve. Incorporated with that is the PMHP, which is weaved throughout all 5 years.
So, patient management and health promotion. Fundamentally, well, what is it? Well, it's the fusion of a variety of different disciplines. For example, psychology, sociology, behavioral sciences, public health, health promotion, communication. And as I said before, you can see this is evenly spread through all 5 years. Focus is always your patient, and your patient is a complex organism, bringing their life experiences to your consultation. As you can see on the left-hand side, PMHP can often be referred to as a jigsaw, basically all the pieces coming together. Each of the pieces is very, very important because when we are dealing with a complex population, a very diverse population with a variety of different experiences that we'll bring to your consultations, you will find that all these aspects of population health, evidence-based dentistry, professionalism, ethics and law, the team aspects, patient factors and communication are absolutely pertinent throughout the whole program. Our biological and medical sciences. Well, our biological and medical sciences is the science that underpins your program. The biomedical sciences, for example, you will be learning about anatomy, and in particular, head and neck anatomy. You'll have quite a bit on biochemistry and the biomolecular sciences, physiology, and oral biology, and in particular, oral and dental anatomy, tooth morphology, oral biochemistry, and physiology. When it comes to our clinical medical sciences, this will be taught predominantly in first year, but again will be spread throughout your entire program and will encompass microbiological and cross-infection control because that's absolutely vital in keeping our patients safe, cleanliness champions, the basic life support and pathology. Within first year, there will be two key competencies our students are expected to undertake. These are on hand hygiene and the basic life support. When we're talking about patient safety and in particular cross-infection control, you will find a lot of this starts with the basics of hand washing. And you will find that the Scottish Infection Prevention and Control Education pathway will be part of your competencies and you will be expected to undertake a number of modules around this pathway. Patient safety will the basic life support. So we have a state-of-the-art facility for teaching BLS, basic life support, and this will be predominantly led by Mrs. Leslie Ann Walker, who you will meet throughout your entire 5 years of your BDS course. In first year, our programs are predominantly based around lectures. Whereas before a lecture would normally be delivered predominantly in our lecture theatres, we have gone much more for a blended approach. So what you will find is your lectures will be based either in person on campus or live online or anytime online. We believe it's absolutely imperative that you get to meet your colleagues. We find that in first year you will be finding up your friends' networks and your colleagues that you'll be working with over the next 5 years, and these will be the basis of your friends throughout your entire career, if not life. We will be utilising laboratories. Some of these laboratories are based within the dental school, but they are predominantly based up at the main campus. Clinical dentistry. Well, clinical dentistry can often be referred to as hands-on dentistry. So this is probably the key reason you have actually decided to undertake the course of dentistry. And we like to get our students involved in dentistry very early on. One of the early stages from this will be the technique of impression taking. And this is the ability to take an impression of someone's dentition, creating a negative using a dental putty material, and therefore converting it into a positive, which creates these models as you can see here. And this will be the basis for your first year learning. Over and above that, you will be learning a lot about dental technology. Dental technology is broken down into four key areas. One is prosthodontics. And prosthodontic technicians, these design and make predominantly dentures. We can have conservation technicians, or sometimes referred to as restorative technicians, and these provide specialising in work of crown and bridge work. Orthodontics, a number of you probably would have received orthodontic treatment, but the orthodontic technicians specialise in constructing appliances to correct and stabilise malocclusions. And a malocclusion can often be described as anything that deviates from an absolute perfect arch. And then in a more specialised area, we have something called maxillofacial prosthesis. These are based predominantly in hospitals, oral surgery, and ophthalmic, and can be dealing with patients who have suffered from cancer and burns, help to reconstruct the faces of patients damaged by accident or potentially disease. To give examples of some of the restorative dentists, you can see here, so you can have prosthodontics, which is these here where you potentially have a cobalt chromium partial denture or an acrylic partial denture. Or you can have the fixed form of prosthodontics, as we can see in the form of bridge work. Also, as part of removable prosthodontics, that can involve complete dentures. And you can find that more and more of restorative dentistry is moving into the specialist area of implants. Over and above that, you can find that there can be additions to existing teeth, and this can take the form of crowns or potentially veneers. Orthodontic dentistry. Well, orthodontic dentistry is about the ability to improve someone's malocclusion. And this is very well illustrated on the diagram on the top left-hand side from before and after. This can be undertaken a variety of different ways. Sometimes it can be with the use of removable appliances, or where some of you may be more familiar with these fixed appliances where the wirework is firmly attached to the teeth. As I've said, we are potentially moving more and more into implant dentistry, and this is where the implants are joined and embedded directly into the bone. And in this particular case here, there is a bar that is attached to the bone and a denture that will clip over to this to hold it securely and firmly in position. Maxillofacial prosthesis can be involved either with facial prosthesis or can be intraoral as well. And an example here is someone who's potentially lost their ear, and you will find in the diagram on the right hand side that this ear has been able to be reproduced, predominantly made in silicon, and attaches firmly in position. Over the years, in the past, techniques to predict dental and facial surgery has been done using two-dimensional images, and this can often be with clinical photographs, with lateral cephalometrics, which is x-rays, something called cephalometric analysis. In conjunction with models, we were then able to predict how we were able to undertake a surgical procedure. What we are finding much more of is that we are moving much more into 3D scanning. And this is one of the key advancements within dentistry. So we can have laser scanning of models, we can have direct intraoral scanning, and we have now recently taken haptic dental simulators as part of our BDS1 curriculum. So what is 3D imaging? Well, quite simply, it's any technique that has the ability to record or capture 3D data, width, length, and depth, often referred to as X, Y, and Z. or it can create the illusion of depth in an image, and this can also be useful for teaching purposes. As you can see on the left here, we have an example of physical models. And these are physical orthodontic study models. These are very time consuming to produce, but they do offer a true 3D representation of the dentition. Unfortunately, they are susceptible to breakage, abrasion, and they will take up a lot of storage. On the right hand side, you can see an example of these models that have now been digitized. The advantage of these models being digitized is they can be sent practically anywhere in the world. They were not able to be dropped, abraded, or suffer trauma. And the storage of these is much, much easier. Within the specialty of prosthetics, again, we can see that even designing partial dentures is moving much more into the 3D environment, as can be illustrated in the diagram and the image moving in the bottom right hand side. And students from first year will be exposed to these 3D technologies. At the moment, we still teach physical impression taken, and this normally takes the impression either with a putty material or an alginate material. This can often be uncomfortable for a patient, and you will find that not only do you need to take the impression, but you then need to utilize the laboratory staff to cast this up to create models. What we were using there is, you can see, intraoral digitization of the dentition, and you can see the user is easily able to interact with this 3D image on an interface screen. We are now moving into the process of something called rapid prototyping. So whereas before we were able to capture what would be regarded as 3D images, we are now going full circle. We are able to capture these images, we are able to interact with these images using the virtual environment, and we are now in a position where we can actually reproduce these materials in a proper 3D physical state. And this is called rapid prototyping. A physical 3D object is created by layering and connecting successive cross-sections of material. There's a variety of different methods that can be utilized to do this. You could be used, and its most common is a fused deposition modeling, or FDM, which is a molten polymer is deposited layer by layer, as you can see, creating the models on the image to the left. As part of our experience for our students, we are also able to utilize the 3D experience, and this can be extremely useful using the projection system. And our wonderful projection system interacting with our smart software packages means that students can actually look within the virtual environment and view this in 3D. And our students have often commented that this is a significant assistance in being able to visualize how the human skull and the anatomy is put together. In the last couple of years, we have taken the haptic technologies, and these are interactive haptic virtual simulators. Our students, this will be for many of them their first interaction with a handpiece or a dental mirror in the virtual environment. The student is able to log in a very safe environment whilst utilizing the 3D images, the haptic technology, as they're potentially either drilling a tooth or investigating a tooth or looking at tooth, as they drill the tooth in the virtual environment, these senses will go back through the stylus, and they will give them the impression that they are actually drilling in reality on real teeth. And we find that's very, very useful. As well as undertaking your studies in dentistry, we want you to enjoy your experience at university, and it's extremely important that you get a balance between your studies and your health and well-being social side. Within the dental school in Glasgow, we have our very own Glasgow Dental Student Society. This is a society that was established by dental students for dental students. They undertake a variety of different activities throughout the whole year. Some will take the form of sporting activities, and some will take the form of potential social events, as well as we have musical events. Basically, within the dental school, if you come with an idea, the Dental Student Society will do its very best to try and come up with that and accommodate some of your ideas. One of the great things within the dental school is that we are also part of Glasgow University. We want you to embrace and enjoy all the activities that are available to you. I'd like to take this opportunity and congratulate you on being offered a place at Glasgow Dental School, and I wish you the very, very best of luck with all your studies. Thank you.